The Mandukya Upanishad, one of the shortest yet most profound Upanishads, delves deeply into the nature of consciousness through the lens of four states: waking, or Jagrat, dreaming, or Swapna, deep sleep, or Sushupti, and the transcendental Turiya. These states are not merely stages of awareness, but serve as a framework to understand the deeper layers of existence. The waking state involves our engagement with the external world through the senses, tied to physical reality and the ego. The dreaming state moves inward, focusing on mental projections and subconscious impressions. Deep sleep represents a blissful void, free from desires but still enveloped in ignorance. Turiya, the ultimate state, is the substratum of all three, a pure, non-dual awareness beyond duality and illusion. The Mandukya Upanishad encapsulates this through the sacred syllable Aum, where A represents the waking state, U the dreaming state, M the deep sleep state, and the silence beyond symbolizes Turiya. This teaching reveals the non-dual essence of the self, or Atman, seamlessly connecting these states into a unified reality. The waking state, or Jagrat, is the consciousness most familiar to us, where we interact with the physical world through our senses. It is characterized by outward-facing awareness and shaped by the illusion of separateness, known as Maya. Vedanta teaches that while we perceive this state as reality, it is transient and deceptive. Neuroscience offers a fascinating parallel. Our experience of the waking state is constructed by the brain, relying on sensory inputs that may not fully represent objective reality. Studies on the brain's default mode network, or DMN, highlight how our thoughts in this state are often egocentric, reinforcing the illusion of individuality. The Vedantic notion of Jagrat resonates with phenomenology, a philosophical tradition that emphasizes how reality is subjectively experienced rather than objectively known. By understanding the waking state as a projection of deeper consciousness, Vedanta urges us to question our attachment to external experiences and to recognize that the material world is only a surface layer of a far greater truth. The Swapna state, or dreaming consciousness, shifts our awareness inward, focusing on mental impressions and subconscious narratives. Vedanta views this state as a subtler layer of illusion, or Maya, revealing the mind's creative and symbolic capacities. Dreams have fascinated philosophers and scientists alike. Carl Jung's theory of the collective unconscious suggests that dreams connect us to archetypal truths shared across humanity. In the context of Vedanta, these subconscious images reflect the imprints of past experiences, or vasanas, stored in the subtle body. Modern neuroscience reveals that the brain during REM sleep is highly active, creating scenarios that help process emotions and consolidate memories. The Mandukya Upanishad emphasizes the similarity between the waking and dreaming states. Both are transient and illusory, mere reflections of consciousness. By contemplating the ephemeral nature of dreams, Vedanta teaches us to transcend the waking and dreaming states, recognizing them as projections of the same underlying reality. The state of deep sleep, or Sushupti, is where consciousness retreats entirely from the external and internal worlds. It is a state of unmanifest awareness characterized by the absence of desires, thoughts, and dualities. Vedanta describes this state as a glimpse of the true self, where the individual ego dissolves temporarily and one experiences bliss. Sleep science corroborates this view. Studies on deep sleep, or non-REM stages, show that the brain operates at its lowest metabolic activity during this phase, allowing physical and psychological rejuvenation. Yet, as the Mandukya Upanishad explains, this state is not liberation or moksha, as the experiencer remains unaware of their own existence in this blissful state. The bliss of Sushupti is only a shadow of the infinite joy of Turiya. By meditating on the void-like nature of deep sleep, Vedanta encourages practitioners to reflect on the underlying consciousness that persists even in the absence of mental activity, guiding them closer to self-realization. Turiya, the fourth state, is not merely another phase of consciousness, but the ultimate reality that underlies and permeates all the others. Unlike the waking, dreaming, and deep sleep states, which are bound by duality and illusion, Turiya is described in the Mandukya Upanishad as not inward, not outward, not both, beyond all distinctions and forms. It is pure awareness, infinite and eternal, the true nature of the self, or Atman. In modern terms, Turiya aligns with concepts like non-dual awareness, studied in fields such as transpersonal psychology and contemplative neuroscience. Research on advanced meditators, such as those conducted by Dr. Andrew Newberg, shows that states of unity and pure consciousness are accompanied by decreased activity in the brain's parietal lobes, which govern the sense of self and spatial boundaries. This aligns with Vedanta's teaching that in Turiya, the illusion of separation dissolves, revealing the self's oneness with Brahman, the ultimate reality. Realizing Turiya, according to Vedanta, requires transcending the identification with the body, mind, and ego. Practices such as neti-neti, meaning not this meditation and self-inquiry, help dissolve the illusions of the waking, dreaming, and deep sleep states. The Mandukya Upanishad emphasizes that Turiya is not a state to be reached, but the eternal essence that is already present. Scientific studies on mindfulness and meditative practices reveal that these techniques reduce activity in the default mode network, or DMN, leading to ego dissolution and a greater sense of interconnectedness. By practicing sustained awareness, one can gradually perceive the unity underlying all experiences, experiencing Turiya directly. The ultimate realization, as described in Vedanta, is the recognition that the self, or Atman, and the ultimate reality, or Brahman, are one and the same. Tat Tvam Asi, meaning that thou art. This profound realization is not just the end of the cycle of illusion, but the beginning of infinite freedom and bliss.